Good morning, students. It's Mrs. Jones. Today's notes are on IXL J.3. This is an algebra skill on IXL. It is going to be solving one-step linear equations. We're going to start off slow with one-step equations and then slowly move on to two-step and then multi-step. The past couple of days we've been simplifying expressions. Expressions don't have an equal sign. Today we're going to see these equations. They are going to have equal signs. And what we've been doing the past couple of days is something that's going to help us going forward in solving more complicated equations. So we're going to first start off with, and these are notes, so if you're writing notes, go ahead and write this down. We're going to start off with the term inverse operation, and inverse just means opposite. It's something to undo. So in order to undo addition, hopefully you guys remember this already, it is subtraction. And in order to undo subtraction, we use addition. And in order to undo multiplication, we use division. And in order to undo division, we use multiplication. So if you notice, these two undo each other here. All right, again, if you're taking notes, here are the 5 steps. If you know this already, you don't have to even watch the video. You can go straight into IXL. I just ask that you really take into account what's happening because once we start to get to two-step and multi-step, it's going to be really important that you know how to use the skills that I'm showing you. Okay, so let's go ahead and do step 1. Step 1 is to find the variable. This is the letter. And in this equation, or this example here, x plus 2 equals 7, the variable is x. Now, step 2 is to determine what operation is happening to that letter. Is it add, subtract, multiply, or divide? And this says x plus 2, so the operation is plus 2. Step 3 says, let's do the opposite of that operation. The opposite of plus 2 is minus 2. So we're going to do that to both sides. So I'm going to separate this equation into 2 equal parts, into 2 parts down the equal sign. So I'm going to subtract 2 here and subtract 2 here. And hopefully this starts to look familiar. 2 minus 2 is nothing, so we're just going to bring down this x. 7 minus 2 is 5. So we've solved this equation. We say x must be 5. So let's go ahead and do a quick check. That's step number 5, and this is very, very, very important. There's no reason for you to ever get an equation wrong once you've gotten to step 4, because you can check it with step 5, and if something went wrong, you can go back and fix it, which I've done plenty of times. So it's not just because you don't know what you're doing, it's because you can make silly mistakes. So what we're saying here is x must be 5. So I'm going to substitute. I'm going to replace the x with the 5. The x does not stay there. We're going to replace it with the 5. 5 plus 2 equals 7. Notice this equation looks exactly like this equation without the x, but with the number that I said x is. So I'm going to do 5 plus 2, that's 7. And 7 equals 7, that checks out, so we're good. We know x is 5. Okay, here's our second example. Let's go through the same steps. Again, this says 15 equals d minus 4. Step 1 is to identify the variable. Our variable is d. So I'm going to separate this down the middle here. The equation says d minus 4, so the operation is a minus 4. The inverse or opposite operation of minus 4 is plus 4. So that's what we're going to do to both sides of this line here. Plus 4 over here, plus 4 over here. So 15 plus 4 is 19. And then negative 4 plus 4, those are opposites, so they're nothing. They cancel each other out. So we just bring down this d here. So we're saying d is 19. Now we're going to be able to check. That's step 5. We're saying d is 19. So we're going to just replace, we're going to take this equation exactly how it is up here, but we're going to place that d with 19. So on this side, on the left side over here, I have 15 equals. 19 minus 4 is 15. 15 is equal to 15, so we've checked out. That's good. Next example. 2u is equal to 7.02. So let's identify the variable here, and the variable is a u. Now what's happening to that u? We have 2u. When we have a letter and a number next to each other like that, it is multiplication. So we're taking 2 times u. I'm sorry, I ran out of space here. 2 times u. So the inverse operation of 2 times is we're going to divide by 2. So that's what we're going to do to both sides of the equation here. And this is how we show division in solving equations. So we're going to divide both sides by 2. So now we're just going to solve. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So we just have 1 u over here. And then 7.02 divided by 2, and you can use your calculator. I believe it is 3.50, let's see, 3.51. So that's what we say u is. U is 3.51. And now we're going to check. This one isn't as easy to check in our brains, so we could use a calculator. We're just going to plug this back into where the u is. So 2 times 3.51, this should be 7.02. And if you use your calculator, or maybe you're really awesome at multiplying, this is 7.02 is equal to 7.02, and this checks. Okay, next equation here, we've got f, remember that means divided by 4. F divided by 4 equals 3. So step 1 is to identify the variable. It is an f. What's happening to the variable? F is being divided by 4. So now we're going to undo that by multiplying by 4. The opposite operation is multiply by 4. Okay, so we're going to multiply this side by 4 and this side by 4. And what happens over here is these 4's cancel. Because 4 divided by 4, I know it says multiplication, but we've got a 4 in the top and a 4 in the bottom, and they actually cancel each other out. So we have an f on the left side, and then 3 times 4 is 12. So I've decided that f is going to be 12. Now let's double check that. Let's put 12 where we see the f over here into our original equation. 12 divided by 4 should be 3. And so if we check in our calculator, 12 divided into 4 equal parts is 3. So 3 is equal to 3, and we've done a quick check. Okay, go ahead and pause the video and try this one on your own. When you unpause the video, I'll go through the process with you. You don't have to do this at this point. If you are completely comfortable, you can fast forward them. All right, so what you should have done here is the variable is n. The operation is times, so we're going to divide everything by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, so we've got n is equal to 12 divided by 4 is 3. And let's do a quick check. 4 times 3 is 12. Oops. This is 12. 12 equals 12. So your answer was 3. Go ahead and pause the video and unpause when you have solved this, and then I'll come back and explain to you how to solve this. Okay, so the variable here is m. The operation is plus 1, so we're going to undo this by minusing 1 from both sides. 1 minus 1 is 1, so we bring down our m. 8 minus 1 is 7. So I'm saying m must be 7. Let's just do a quick check. Replace the m with a 7 over here. So I've got 7 plus 1 should be 8. 7 plus 1 is 8. 8 equals 8, and that is a check. All right, go ahead and pause the video. All right, you must be ready for an answer here. So the variable here is v. The operation is division. So instead of dividing by 4, I'm going to multiply everything by 4. These cancel, so I'm going to bring down my v. 4 times 4 is 16. So I'm saying v must be 16, and I'm just going to do a quick check. I'm going to put the 16 here where my v is. 16, the original says 16 divided by 4 should be 4. And 16 divided by 4 is 4, so 4 equals 4. That is a check. The final one, go ahead and pause the video. Okay, so the variable here is a q. We are going to subtract 1. Or the operation is subtract 1, so that means we're going to add 1 to both sides. -1 plus 1, those are opposite, so they cancel. Let's bring down the q here. 9 plus 1 is 10. I'm saying my answer is 10, so I'm going to double check that. 10 minus 1 is 9. 10 minus 1 is 9, and 9 equals to 9, and so their q must be 10. If you have any questions, please message me as you're going through the IXL. Have a wonderful day.